What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Mo Reviews here. Here to give a quick recap over the events of the weekend, particularly any given Sunday, too. To start out, just to knock this out the way, I know there was some controversy over the weekend with Panic Room 6 main event of Coffee Brown versus 40 Bars not going down, as well as any given Sunday's main event of Sue Surf versus Cortez not going down. Just unfortunate situations on both hands. I know things still haven't been cleared up on the Panic Room front. There was talk that 40 possibly didn't have a third. There's talk that's maybe something else. 40 hasn't come out and said anything herself. I know that Official and a couple others have tweeted their thoughts on it, what was going on, but obviously that main event didn't go down. It's looking like coming out of it, we might end up getting a Coffee versus Jazz battle, possibly it's Coffee's last battle. Definitely something, a battery symbol. Definitely something that Jazz has been open to, and now Coffee's asking for. So, even though we're not going to get 40 versus Coffee, it looks like we still might get something positive out of that. And with any given Sunday, obviously being as fresh as last night, no talks of rebookings or reschedulings. Looks like a fan of some sort tried to attack someone or did attack somebody in Sousa's posse with a knife. Completely unacceptable situation. Understand where Surf is coming from doing what he had to do. Unfortunate that the event had to get shut down over it, but it was a serious situation that could have been much more serious if, they didn't do what they had to do. So, unfortunate that both main events didn't go down, but we still have an any given Sunday card here that was absolutely fantastic. The Panic Room 6 card was pretty good as well. Tia versus Norman Bates was a dope battle. Hope Chilla versus Eliza Versa. Some dope battles there. And then we're gonna get into some of these any given Sunday battles. I still think even without the main event going down, great card. I love the 3 battles did go down. And let's cover them. So to kick off the night, first battle to open the card was Av versus Danny Myers. This was a dope battle. Actually, battle of the night, if you ask me. It was battle of the night. So to start out, Danny, dope first, comes out with not a rebuttal, but a freestyle of some sort, I would believe, about 40 bars and Coffee, and if he backs out with the 40, everyone in the room will panic. So dope flip of that. A lot of rhyme pockets that he got on early on. I thought Danny's first landed a lot of haymakers, but the elephant in the room when it'll come to this is Stanley had 2 to 3 very hard stumbles, particularly his first, right on the brink of a choke. I didn't call it a choke. I just count them as rough stumbles, but very hard, to ignore. He was able to get it back, had a crazy parallel universe flip. Talk about bringing the bosses to the round table and suggesting they get Nathan like nothing, get Nathan as Av's name. Had a bunch of Nate flips in there, a bunch of Av flips in general, a lot of different rhyme pockets for Danny. We know what he's gotten into. I think one of my other favorites from him is I was the first to put H on the Av. I have to have it. Thought that was dope. Danny had a dope first, but Av came back with an incredible first, matching it, matching energy, matching haymakers. Had a Gabrielle Union, pushing drugs like Gabrielle Union. As soon as we weighed, it sold out. It sold out. Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade. That was dope. And, it's so hard to quote all the haymakers, especially in a punch fest like this. But even his closing haymaker, raising these 2 twins and Danny's house, full house, flipped the Olsen twins. That was incredible. I think material-wise, both of them were fantastic in the first. Landed tons of haymakers. High quality round from both. But when you have hard stumbles like Danny did, as opposed to a flawless delivery like Av, I just feel like you have to call that first for Av. I give the first to Av clearly. Like I said, love both their material in the first, but with hard stumbles like that, when they're not matched, I would even say Av already off material probably was winning the round. And then when you add the stumbles, I just feel like it makes it objective. So I had Av 1-0 into the second round. I think Av's repeat punching got a little bit tiring. Danny took this round clear. A little bit of turbulence still, but a lot less of the stumbling, not nearly as bad as stumbles. Plenty of haymakers. Danny definitively took it, so it was 1-1 going into the third, and Danny came with a concept round. This is not Av, very similar to what he did against Chaos or his Who Am I against Drugs. I love the concept rounds. I think it shows great creativity, and I think it shows Danny always trying to be creative and push the barrier with what's accepted in battle rap. I do think that it went on a little too long, possibly even 8 to 16 too long. Making the whole round based after that may have been, a bit of a misfire, at least for the room. I think in smaller rooms, even emptier rooms, that has the impact that it does because he can fully get through it, as opposed to here. I just don't think this was the type of setting to get that off. And being that we've heard a few concept rounds from him, I didn't think it was that crazy, as opposed to Av came with another very strong third, punching his head off multiple haymakers. I give Av the third clear. So I had Av 2-1. I was wrong in my prediction. I had Danny 2-1 edge. Av 2-1 clear in the battle of the night. Dope battle from both. Dope performance from both. Don't have me calling it a clear loss make it seem like I'm downplaying Danny. I still think it was a great battle. I just think that Av pretty clearly got the first and the third in the battle of the night. So dope look for Av. I think he needed that. And yeah, on to the next battle. Clips versus Lou Castro, the next battle that came on this card. In my predictions, I did predict it for this to be a lopsided battle in favor of Clips, and that is what we got here. 3-0 clear for Clips. Going round by round, Lou starts out. I think Lou's first was pretty weak. I think it was pretty generic. A lot of leaning into the performance, but the bars just don't seem to be there. But I'm not want to say overall as a talent, but you can't have rounds very similar to, even though it's a completely other separate talent and battle. But Kid Chaos first versus Chilla Jones, for those that have seen that battle, it's like a pop fly round, and it's setting you up to get ran over and set a certain tone to start the battle, especially coming in as an underdog. I just don't think that you can afford for your first round, especially starting first, to not be one of your better rounds, or at least powerful, because then Clips with a complete wash in the first, damn near off of his first 8. 2 gigantic haymakers, one already doing, which you will see as we go down this, was Clips' overall approach for the battle, but flipping the skirt, Lou's always doing that. Skirt off, like when Jazz first lost her virginity. A lot of people will say bars like that are basic, which they are. We know Jazz virginity bars, but the way he raps it, the way that he performed it, gets everyone to buy into it. There's talent in that. That is elite battle rapping, even if you do not like that the base bar, the intricacy isn't there. There's still elements of battle rap there that he is excelling at. He also had a bar about shoot him, send him to the dark side with a sticky note on the bullet, telling Briz, we miss you, dark side Briz. Went through the round, a lot of flipping of Lou's gimmicks, and that is Charlie's approach to this battle. It's a reason why now in retrospect seeing, Clips asked for Lou, there's a reason why. Clearly he had an approach here to break down that Lou has a lot of slogans, and a breakdown of his style and how the slogans, something that I personally agree with, I've somewhat talked about before, is Lou's slogans and performance getting more gimmicky than it is just a tool to use in his performance bag. I feel like he leans into it too heavy. He's letting it be his identity rather than be one of his weapons as a battle rapper. Just going into the second round, I think Lou did step it up. I think Lou's second is much better than his first. One of Lou's better rounds, to be honest with you. T-Pain bar about hit his chin, hit his chest, make him do the T-Pain. What else did he have in there? The Bang on Charlie, games, blouses, the Dave Chappelle show, the Charlie Murphy reference, R.I.P. Charlie Murphy, absolutely hilarious. Great round, but Clips comes back again, more style breakdown, schemes, just another wash in the second. I know I'm not doing the best quote in some of these. I didn't take as in-depth notes bar for bar, at least I'm not looking at them. But for those that have even seen it, the first 2 rounds were a wash. In the third, although closer, I think Lou had a decent little third too, but Charlie, who seemed to freestyle the first half of his third and then get into writtens, he took that round clear. A lot of people say this is progressive for Lou. I don't think taking this many 30s is good. I hope there's some type of change in the style or something. Hopefully this is all just developmental and he comes out better for it. But losing 3-0 clear in this fashion, in this amount of time, this many times, it's not the best look. But Clips clear 3-0. Great performance from him. And on to, sadly, the last battle that occurred last night. Calico versus Chess. Kind of our pseudo main event, obviously, with Surf and Core not going down as we spoke about. Coming into this battle, I had Calico 2-1 edge. Thought that this would be the battle of the night anyways. Thought that for me personally, this was like my main event. I just thought this was a fantastic matchup. Chess coming off what I believe is the best year, possibly the best year of Chess's career. I think 2021 was a full, complete year. No chokes, a lot of replay value, no real clear losses, clear wins, classics. I thought Chess was coming off a fantastic year, and he would further cement himself in this battle. Even though I did have him losing on an edge, I thought this would be a highly debatable battle. To start out in the first round, Chess goes first. Chess has his throwing up issues as he usually does, and a little bit into his intro. There's like a 10 to 15 minute break for Chess to go to the back and throw up off stage. Not great. Acid reflux, whatever the reasoning is. Even though I don't count it against him, I want this to be known. I'm not counting that against him or counting him having to throw up as a choke. But in the building, it hurts optically. That is just undeniable. Especially it's going to hurt you in the building. It is going to hurt you on cam if there's fans that aren't willing to look past it, but it is not something I took points off his round 4. I know that that's a big debate going on right now, but he threw up and he came back, and Chess is first to me. A lot of OBC. There's a hemisphere bar, hemisphere. I have heard that, a Cal assist, a Cal assist name flip. These aren't bad bars by any means, but this isn't fantastic. He's not landing too many crazy haymakers, and to be real with you, a big flaw that reminded me of old vintage chess battles, and a problem I had when he was coming up is it was about a 10-minute round. Even after the crowd has had to wait 10 minutes for you to throw up off stage, he wraps 10 to 11 minutes in this first, and the material's really spaced out. It could have used so much more editorial work because there is dope punches laced in there. I even think, even though I've heard it before, the Callicis bar was pretty unique, but he had some pretty unique punches spaced out by a lot of rudimentary regular bars. Cal comes back. I first thought he was going to rebuttal him throwing up, but Cal actually counter-wrote pretty much his entire first about Chess throwing up. This is something that he had prepared. I think even when Chess threw up, he said, I got a parlay on Chess throwing up. The counter-writing was insane. The way that he was able to apply it back to himself when he was younger. Talked about, I was on this stage just as young versus Young Ill. I didn't throw up. He had a crazy haymaker from that. Style breakdown, 32 in the heat, shack attack. Cal won the first clear. And there's going to be some debate that, Chess was better lyrically and this. Chess was more intricate, but Cal definitively had better material. He delivered it cleaner. Chess was stumbling a little bit before he threw up, and it's just, I think Cal landed more. It's not as entendre'd up, but I had Cal winning the first clear. The second, dope back and forth, a lot of real talk from both. Chess takes a great angle on Cal and BMF and leaning on his dad as a crutch. Very similar to Geechee's angle, but unique in its own right. Cal came back, a lot of real talk himself. It's a preference round, very debatable. I edged Chess the second. So I had it 1-1, but if you had a Cal 2-0, I'm not mad at you. And then going into the third, Chess fully chokes for like a minute and a half, terrible. Cal's able to clean up and just win the battle with a pretty dope third himself. Masterful performance for Cal. 2-1 clear first and third, possible 3-0 depending on who you give the second to. I think it's a tough loss for Chess. I think the losing composure and choking in the third really hurts. Gotta stop doubting Cal, man. If y'all had Cal losing 30 in this, crazy people, but Cal, in my opinion, with performance of the night, and that'll do it for that battle. So, to recap, I had Av 2-1 clear, first and third over Danny Myers. Danny getting the second. Battle of the night, dope battle. Charlie Clips 3-0 clear over Lou Castro. Lou's second being his best, a little bit of a standout, but still clear 3-0 with a rare form Clips. And then in our pseudo main event, Calico versus Chess. I had Cal 2-1 clear, debatable 30. Masterful performance. I just want to take a little more time. I really think that there was a lot of doubt for Cal in this battle. I saw a lot of clear this, clear that. Calico does not lose clear that often. I know he just lost a serve clear, but this is not something that happens. I just think a lot of times people doubt Calico because without definitive haymakers sometimes in this round, he doesn't fit necessarily immediately when you pencil it in for the new era battle rap, but he just showed once again with, I would say, a vintage, maybe one of the top 5 Cal performances ever. I know there's been some talk about that, but I think it's one of his better performances ever. I think the counter writing was masterful. The angles he did take, even though they're going to think it's just a throw-up angle, if you really look, there's more parallels he draws in there. I just think it was a masterclass. Really enjoyed it. sadly with the main event not going down, I know that can hurt the event, especially with the main event issues we had this past weekend. But I still think Any Given Sunday was a dope card. I think it was a 7 to 8 out of 10 card too, and could have really stuck the landing with a dope main event. But we'll see what goes on with that battle. But like I said, dope event, good stuff. We're going to see what URL and all these other leagues have coming up. Obviously, we're covering everything here. Expect more Book'em episodes, and expect maybe a flashback review this week. I got some stuff planned. But yeah, it's been Jason Reviews here again, guys. And I'm out. Peace.